Time, I'm 3 minutes behind. I got the guys that are members of Aphrodite Sprints, as well as the new army of Aphrodite, to really bust my balls with that. But it's kind of a reverse thing, because the one most common commodity, we hear about it, we all know about it, but we got to go beyond just hearing and knowing. We got to live it. We got to dig deeper. We got to reach higher. Time. We all have the same amount of time each day. So it's precious commodity, isn't it? So you got to start to master your time. But for most, it's a turn off. It's as if I say, let's go find God. No, I don't want to go to a fucking church. Or maybe you like going to church. But for most, you start with a false notion of it. Time is not taking like little notes and so on. Time is awareness. You can still do whatever the fuck you want with your time, but you must become more aware of time. And what better way to become more aware of time than to really precisely pay attention to time? Plus also, time is one of those things that most people are a little overly casual about it. It's so common, especially in a big city, to hear people who are like, oh, there was a lot of traffic. No, you left too late. So time is often side to side with not being fully honest. So what? You wouldn't certainly be the first one to give a little white lie. I did it plenty times and much bigger lies. But it's not even about other people. It's not even about the fact that others do it. It's really what it does to us. It's robbing us from tapping into the core of our potency. Potency. How can we possibly handle the big stuff if we're not sharp with the small stuff? So start to take charge of your time. Time is your bitch. You are the master. Turn it into a study. And it's also essential to understand that there's different cycles of time. There's the cycle of time of an hour. You can do a lot in an hour. There's a cycle of time of a day, but there's also the cycle of time of a year. And right now, we're facing almost like, okay, you want to get the gold, everybody fucking run, because the gateway, the window of opportunity is closing. Let 1 weekend pass by between the holidays, the new year, and the rest of the year, and people have forgotten already. If I know it's not going to be the case for me, I'm doing a 365-day challenge. I'll be the guy in June to tell you, hello, it's June 2nd of the year 2019. Where the fuck are you with your resolutions? So we got to pay attention. And you pay attention also to that window of opportunity that's closing right now. And the way we keep it open is we stay focused. We know that to turn your resolution into a reality, it's a daily duty. And most people, they get a little bit excited and then they go back to sameness. And in the boredom of sameness, the lack of stimulation, they're no longer accessing their own resources. Now you can do that at several levels. See, there's a guy who's a go-getter, but he could also fall into same old thing. I've been guilty of that. You know, this year I really want to top it all and top it all from the get-go. So time is of the essence. If you were at EC2 on Saturday, we're doing a bonus time efficiency session. Time is also connected with focus. We have 24 hours. What do you focus on during the 24 hours? Well, we'll learn on Saturday. I give you a glimpse of this. Most people have it backwards. I divide time and your use of time in 4 categories. We're going to put the ideal one first, afterwards. But then most people, it's last or it's beyond last because it doesn't even fucking exist. So every day we have some obligation. If you're not engaged in the career of your dream, whatever work you're doing, let it serve you. I just did a beautiful podcast with Tony Dillinger, whom at some point went back to working for somebody else, but he treated it as a study. He enriched himself. So everything that we do, every day that we do it, is resources for the future. Focus. Each day, unless you decide to quit today, you're going to have to go and take care of your obligations. So that's one chunk of time. As you take care of your obligation, there's also going to be some milder everyday things to do, and they repeat themselves every day. You're going to have to feed yourself. You're going to have to wash yourself. You're going to have to commute. You're going to have to take care of the back and forth of all emails, some social media stuff, and so on. There, it's very circular because it's like back at the same thing every day. For most people, their job is the same. Then as you do those two things, we're not robots. So you also need a little time to refresh and sleep and recharge and recreation. But then here's the biggest, most omitted chunk. Time for your dreams, your mission, your desires to come to fruition. How do most people do it? They are behind. So their everyday commute and taking care of a meal and getting ready in the morning has become such a frenzy that it's usually their number one preoccupation. Oh shit, we're late, I gotta go. Oh, and then they show up to their commitments and they are not sufficiently charged. So right there, they just get by. The combination of those two, the distress of the frenzy of always trying to catch up. Oh, I'm late, I should get up, and so on. And doing something that you don't love and not putting love into it, not turning it into a fucking study, you know? You could be like working for the worst boss on the fucking planet. Your colleagues could be completely fucking retarded. It's still an amazing social study. You can still pay attention without telling them so it doesn't get confrontational. To, okay, if I was to run this, what could I do to do it better? And this is free education, and you educate and empower and enlighten yourself. Okay? You could also, especially in the presence of difficult people, train yourself to become a master at dealing with people. Most of them are difficult. If they're not difficult because they are difficult, then they're accidentally difficult. Yesterday, I was trying to walk through a crowd, and most people, I was like, this is ridiculous. They don't know how to walk. Adults who don't know how to facilitate a flow of pedestrian through a crowd. Wow. Then after that, usually we're beat. We're exhausted. So we need to rest. We're craving a little breath. So we take too many breaks, too long. We want to forget about that. And again, always look at it through different levels. There's those who are really in that situation at a bottom level. There's those who are still in the same fucking situation at a top level. Okay? For example, in all honesty, I found myself in that situation. Today, I got started a little late. I had to run, but I fought all day to make sure you make your videos. And then where I showed up, I was a little affected at first. I said, no, you're not going to be affected. And then that last category is taking care of your dreams. It's starting your own business. It's going to talk to girls, spending time with girls. It's spending time studying. It's going to the gym. So does this sound familiar? You're a little late and you're a little off to start with, and You're running and you're rushing to show up somewhere where you don't really want to be. And as you do that, props to you. Then, of course, you're a little beat and you want a breath from that. And eventually, by the time you make it home, it's not easy to still work out, write your book, do your music. If you're doing music, follow your mission, follow your passion, or have at least a rich, entertaining, quality evening. So we turn this around. This is the way of champions, because they start to properly fuel themselves. You start any four of them, and eventually you reposition them. So let's say you start to fuel yourself more, okay? You start to make sure you really recharge. You don't go to bed exhausted. If you're very, very, very tired, you go, let me put some essential oil, lavender. Let me take a quick, super fast, warm bath. Let me play a meditation in the background. Let me breathe. Let me charge myself. Anything to nourish your body, your soul, your heart. So now you're a little more lively. So now you can also, the stuff we do on a daily basis, the commute, the cooking, all of that, okay? Laundry, all those tasks, the mail, the email, you name it, you refine it. Each day, you turn it into a game to do it faster. You time it. You want to do it better. You reorganize, you delegate, you find a better way. And if you found a better way, you top it again, you top it again, you top it again, you top it again. You know, the first time that I started to do that, took me 40-something minutes to put together my breakfast the way I liked it in the morning. I was able to take 40 minutes and shrink it into, I believe, 12 minutes. The numbers may be slightly off. It's been a few years, okay? And then you no longer, no matter how boring what it appears to be, what you have to do, you do it like the boss in the making. You apply yourself. If anything, you apply the ability to work with vigor, with sharpness, with precision. And if you can do it when the task is difficult and unpleasant, then when you do what you love, you'll do it better than anybody else. And then you got to start to make some headways. Begin, even if you write just a page, even if you do push-ups at home next to your bed first. You got to engage yourself, and the time is now. And then eventually we flip that around, and you get up in the morning and you get up for your dreams. And the first thing that you do in the morning, even if it takes you getting up 2 hours early, then you work out, you write a little bit in your book. This is a metaphor. Okay, maybe you're never gonna write a fucking book. Although in the Renaissance day, every good Renaissance man would write at some point something. It was part of what people would do. Okay, maybe you start your own fucking YouTube channel, or maybe you start your own business, or maybe you get into multi-level marketing, something to get you fucking started, but you gotta follow your heart, follow your dreams. And when you fuel that first, even if brief at first, but you honor that first things first in the morning, then you'll find a strength and a vigor and a passion that will have you go through the day a little bit sharper, which automatically you work for others, you start to do better, your mood is lifted, you notice other things, and you can start to benefit. Then, you know, it's like the guy who goes to a nightclub and he's kind of down and he doesn't like the place, and so and then suddenly he starts to pay attention a little bit differently, and he makes a few connections. And it's not perfect, but he makes a few connections. He chats with the bartender. It's all practice. Every day you're preparing. Every day you're preparing for your opportunities, and you're strengthening for your challenges. Then not only you will need more rest, the rest will be more rewarding. I've heard today a beautiful recording. Somebody was saying, you have to give yourself the gift of knowing you're making headways on your dreams. Because when you do that, watch how you sleep better, deeper. Watch how you are calmer. And most people, they mistaken calm and lazy. You can be calm and fast. You can be calm and efficient. And then Now, you know, you have, so if we put it back in place, number one, you get up in the morning, the first thing that you do is you nurture, you nourish, and you invest in your dreams. And you got to do that. If you're not doing that, nothing is going to change. Then you're just fucking teasing yourself worse than a girl that's telling you she's going to show up and never calls you back. After that, whatever you're doing throughout the day, turn it into training. Training for your opportunity. The day you're boss, you're going to have a lot of subdivisions, a lot of subcategories. You better know a little bit of everything. You better know also that one day someone may not show up in the company and you have to replace them. And if you have new people and you know quite a bit about life, then you'll be able to better train them, better manage them, more and to inspire them. Right? After that, well, the stuff you got to do every day, you now shrunk that. So now you have more time for what matters most. And then you need less rest, and your rest is of greater quality. Okay? I just wanted to present you those two models. Okay, most people right now, and watch out, because I bet you within days you're back at that. For a moment, you open your mind, and I hope you did. We're going to talk about in case you didn't. But before you know it, you're back at the frenzy. It's constant catch up, and it wears us off, and it sucks the life and the juice out of you. And it's not like you're being juiced or getting a fucking blowjob. It's draining. As it is draining, then whatever you have to show up to, you're dragging your feet, which makes it worse. And after that, of course, you fucking beat. And if you're not beat in terms of, I gotta sleep right now, you want a breath, you want a movie, you want out of this reality, you want a fucking beer, you want to sometimes just sit down or walk around. And then who and what suffers the most? Your greatest destiny, your dreams, and then you take them to the grave. And you know, you may say that's pretty fucking dramatic. No, the world has it backwards. They're dramatic when they shouldn't fucking be. Okay? Yes, traffic will be traffic, so stop being dramatic with that. Guaranteed, you're going to encounter people in traffic that get weird. So if you do traffic, do it like rain. It's raining. I'm going to get wet. Okay? You go to a concert, it's loud. Those people who go, oh, how do you talk to a girl in a nightclub? It's loud. Hello, it's loud for everybody. Okay? So don't be dramatic there. Just fucking endure. People who only and always want to feel good, and for 2 days they feel bad, and they feel bad because they felt bad. Don't be dramatic about that, but be dramatic. Be dramatic about the big picture, the price you would pay. The worst regret is to know that you could have, but you did not. And that regret is awful, especially that most likely you'll experience it when you're old and nearly dead. So on top of everything now, you're going to be fucking traumatized in your own mind. You don't want that, do you? So now here's the better model. The better model, you fuel yourself. You're patient. You make deposits. Hey, if every day you write a page, at the end of the year, you have a book. If every day you get 3 phone numbers, at the end of the year, you have over 1,000 fucking phone numbers. Even more. I'm being conservative. Okay? It's important. If you work out every single day, even if it's 10 fucking minute workout. But if we get caught in the thing, we're on, we're off, we're on, we're off, and then we go, oh, I worked so hard last year. Bullshit. Most of the time you were off bitching, you were dragging your feet. We got to take responsibility. So when does this change? It changes now. And when we change something, it's going to get a little scary. Some people may think, well, how do you sustain that through a whole year? Backwards. It will sustain you through a whole year. Watch. See, most people, they're going to start to unconsciously, subconsciously be discouraged, because more and more they're going to realize, wow, it's not really changed. I'm doing the same old shit. Fuck that. It's February. I'm hustling to pay the rent. What about my dreams? What about my business? There's no evidence. It's not growing. What about my new girls? What about Valentine's Day? I don't even have a fucking girl for Valentine's Day, they're going to say. So that's what wears us off. And that's why it feels so hard to get going. But if every day you keep that window open, you got to keep it open and open it more. Most people have it backwards. A great example. If you go on a little vacation and you're excited, suddenly if you notice how you have way more energy, go and tell a person who's not going anywhere, pack a suitcase today. Pack a suitcase? I don't have the time. Pack a fucking suitcase today. No, fuck you. I'm not packing a suitcase today. Pack a fucking suitcase today. No! Are you going to pay me for it? But packing your suitcase for a holiday, it's a whole different deal.